Thank you, Nick, for that. Music for children is a great healer, and I am so pleased to have Opus. I'm so pleased to have Opus as my charity this year. Lady Captain, Mr. President, Lady President. I've got Mr. Captain here, but that's me as well. Oh, sorry. And Mr. Captain of the Nottinghamshire. Ladies and gentlemen. How do you write a speech a week before the event when you have no idea what your vice captain has in store for you? Knowing what you did to your captain last year and knowing that things are going to come back to haunt you. And they certainly did that. Can I firstly thank Pete for putting on today. He's not with us today. He's not very well. He's not been very well for a few days now. He shouldn't have appeared on Friday, but he did. But I wish him all the best. Can I thank Alan for stepping in and doing what he did? And can I thank everybody for coming? I really wasn't expecting so many people here today. The costume. Not many of you will know that I actually was a shepherd for 10 years. So this is where the little Bo Peep comes from. I was a bit disappointed I didn't have any wellies. Because wellies and shepherds really go well together. So I'm just thinking of the wellies and the sheep.
Think about the days, eh? Good old days. Illegal now.
I've lost it now. I put my proper way now, look. Can I also thank all the Winter League, the Dawn Patrol Winter League. Majority of them I can see over the back there, giving me a wave. Nobody else will see them because they're standing right at the back. For their take on builders. We don't all have spirit levels. As Gary said last year, we do have philodolites and things. I've really lost where I am. I really enjoy dressing up because actually, when I was 9, I won a fancy dress dressing as a lady. Coming from a family with 5 sisters, I had hand-me-downs. So actually, I wasn't dressing up. I even had to wear their knickers as well. But anyway, I would like to thank you all Dawn Patrol for what they did, and anybody else that was in there. I'll get back to my speech now. Thanks to Cran for retrieving the ball. The distance was 212 yards. And I don't believe that may be a record for a captain driving off. Because I think it beats Dave Rich and Gary together. And I only missed out by 18 yards from beating the junior.
You went on the wrong fairway though, Chris.
It's a fairway, Gary. I hit the fairway and won. Nobody says which one it has to be in. Now we raced tonight, or this afternoon, £67, and the winner was Heather Lee. £30 to, if she'd like to come up. Thank you, Heather. Brad, you're there. Thank you very much for retrieving the ball. I'm sorry you had such a long walk. Here's your bottle of whiskey.
Thank you, Captain. Can I say thank you? First, I've noticed it's a brand new Nike Razor Black. I'm quite surprised the captain used a brand new ball because we were all expecting it to end up in the hedge on Cropwell Road. But there's the ball back, and
it's not his, he must have found it.
he must have found it. But most of you will know that I'm a lifelong teetotaler and I don't drink. So I'd like to present the bottle back to you, Mr. Captain, to use at a charity as a raffle event. So thank you very much.
Believe it or not, this is the first ball that I've actually hit off a tee that hasn't got a yellow bit on it. Which hit the nearest tree. So I will be putting that on a plaque. I'd like to thank, first of all, no, because I've also thanked Frank I'd like to thank Jan, my partner. Without her, I would not have got through this last year, and without her, I'm certainly not going to get through this year. So I'd like to present her with a token of my thanks. They're not from the co-op. You can't get up and collect them because I'm not bringing them to you. Really has been a support to me. So I'm going to present him somebody else in a minute. So I'd like to thank my son Phil and his girlfriend Danny. They've travelled all the way from Berlin to be with me today. He's there, Danny's there. Supposed to be sat on the table because it says here.
I didn't get a copy of the speech before.
And I'd like to thank everybody else. We're a few short on this table because I think you're all dotted about, but on this table I'd like to thank everybody else for coming. I've got a lot of family and a lot of friends. I've got little Charlie. Hello, Charles. Little Ethan. Hello, Ethan.
Logan.
Logan. Ethan's not here. Hello, Logan. I'm sure it's not supposed to go like this, is it? Gary made such a better job with it right here. So, I'd also like to thank my playing partners today, which is Gary, Gilbert and Dave Rich, who stepped in at short notice to play for Pete, who couldn't play today. Now on the first, Gilbert. He's there beginning his pre-shot routine. Visualising his up-and-coming shot when a voice came over from the clubhouse. Would the gentleman on the women's tee back up to the men's tee, please? He was still in deep routine, seamlessly impervious to the interruption. Again the man shouted, "Would the man on the woman's tee kindly back up to the men's tee?" Gilbert simply ignored it. He kept concentrating. Once more, the man yelled, "Would the man on the woman's tee back up to the men's tee, please?" Gilbert finally stopped, turned and looked directly at the man and shouted back, "Would the person at the clubhouse stop shouting and let me take my second shot?" We had a good game of golf today. Whiskey was better. When we got to the halfway house, had some breakfast. Dave, sorry, I've wrote this speech with Pete everywhere, but Dave got out the whiskey again. I said to Gary, "Gary, if you have another whiskey, you won't be able to drive." He said, "Drive? I can't bloody putt." Anyway, Dave played a fantastic game with his new clubs that he got for Jill. It was a good swap. It was a really good game, really close. Me and Dave, Gary and Gilbert. We played 18 holes. 16 of them holes were either won or half with a par or a birdie. Only 2 holes was with a 5, which was the 13th and the 16th. I've not played for a long time such a good match, such a close match. Fortunately though, I had Dave Rich on my side.
Ross in the ringer.
And we're going up the 17th one up. I did tell Gary.
You were 2 up then, going up the 17th.
Will we?
Yeah.
Going up the 18th, we were 1 up. I said to Gary last night, on Friday night, if I lost I wouldn't buy him a drink. He gave me a really good putt today on the 18th to half the hole. That means that me and Dave won 1 up. Also took £2.
Haven't paid you
Have
yet.
you? I've been paid by Gilbert.
No, I'll wait for the drink.
Gilbert honours his debt. Therefore, you've got to pay Dave £2.
I've already paid Dave.
Really good match, and I must say, I've enjoyed the company. The whiskey was not actually as good as the company, but the company was good for 4 hours. We sheltered. Well, we actually didn't shelter, we had to pass some time away, so we drank some more whiskey. Gary had his gin, because he don't like the whiskey. And that brings us really to the end of my speech, because I don't really want to make it long. I think that Alan did a fantastic job stepping in for Pete. I'd like to thank Pete again and Jean for organising today. And I think that Alan's thanked most people, but I'd like to first of all thank you all for coming. thank AD for the flowers, and the flowers are beautiful. I really like that, and I want to take it home. This display on the front here. I saw it yesterday and I thought, I'm going to take that, but I've got to wait till tomorrow. So I'd like to thank AD for the flowers. I'd like to thank the bar staff, June and Lucy. And I'd like to thank the caterers who are going to feed you this afternoon. Joe's up there desperately waiting to feed you. And I'd just like to thank you all for coming, which you've done, and I'm looking forward to being your 2016 captain. What you're now going to be, what you're now going to have, you're going to be entertained by the world-renowned Phil Epoch, who is a rock singer. You don't need your earplugs because he's actually going to go unplugged. But while you're eating, he will be singing for you. So if you can give him a hand after you've done.